There is a footstep imprinted on a stone. We believe it is the footstep of Adam alayhi salam. And of course, Christians, they believe it is the footstep of Adam. Hindus believe it is their footstep of Shiva, God Shiva. And Buddhists believe it is the footstep of Lord Buddha.
Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Teh Chat. So Teh here means tea in Malay. And in this episode, we are going to fly to Sri Lanka and meet a Muslim from Sri Lanka. So we have here Nasif. Hi Nasif.
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. So you're not really in Sri Lanka now, but we can skip that. But yep. So just pretend you are in Sri Lanka right now, but you are from Sri Lanka. So just introduce yourself.
Okay, Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you, Kak Parveen, for inviting me for the Teh Chat. So my name is Nasif Ahmad. I am from Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan Muslim. Currently living in Thailand. I just completed my studies in Thailand, my bachelor's degree. So yeah, I'm here today. So let's take a tour in Sri Lanka.
So here's an interesting part about you. You speak Thai because you live in Thailand, right? Obviously, You're using English now, so you speak English. And you can also speak in Bahasa Melayu, right?
Yeah, sikit.
And since you are in Islamic study, you can speak Arabic too, right?
Yeah.
That's 4 languages already. And you are Tamil, so you speak Tamil, right? 5. And you are Sri Lankan, so you speak Sinhalese, right?
Yes.
So 6 languages, you speak 6 languages. Is there any more language that I miss?
Inshallah, in near future, I want to add Turkey to the list.
Wow.
Turkish.
So we just go ahead with our first question about Sri Lanka. Maybe you can share a little bit, the background, the demographic, about Sri Lanka.
Yes, you can of course Google things for the information. Yeah, just for briefing. Whenever people encounter with me, they ask, "Are you from India?" Because we have the same skin color, the skin tone, and the face cut and shapes like Indians. But of course, southern India. But we are not part of India. We are a separate independent country in Indian Ocean, little bit below India. The nearest between India and Sri Lanka, there is a gap of 36 kilometers. Yeah, but we don't use that road. We don't use that sea route, but of course we fly. So there are no any border.
Only 36 kilometers. So that's quite close, right?
Yeah. There are some histories that there is a place called Adam's Bridge. So there is a story that it says once the Adam alayhi salam was landed to Sri Lanka. It's the first. There is a story that Adam's Peak is a mountain where Muslims believe it is. There is a footstep. There is a footstep imprinted on a stone. We believe it is the footstep of Adam alayhi salam. And of course, Christians, they believe it is the footstep of their Adam father. And Hindus believe it is their footstep of Shiva, God Shiva. And Buddhists believe it's the footstep of Lord Buddha. So it's just, we don't have, scientific or any solid evidence, but it's just
is there any Quranic verse or Sahih Hadith to support that anyway?
No, but we don't have any of
that's just word of mouth.
Yeah, a word of mouth, like a folklore or myth. However, some ulamas or say just to make fun out of things, Allah is so merciful. He will not send his servant directly to a desert place. So he had sent to a very nice place like heaven. Because Arabs used to call Sri Lanka as Jannatullahi fil ard, Allah's Jannah in the world, right? So it's just a small funny story. So after Adam came to Sri Lanka, he used to travel around the world, right? So he used this bridge connecting Sri Lanka and India that is called as Adam's Bridge. After some geographical changes, now we don't have any connection between India and Sri Lanka. We always have a sea route separating us. So that's about the geographical location. It is in Indian Ocean. And we have Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslims and burghers or Christians. We have and other ethnic groups. Sinhalese, of course, they are the majority of the country. They follow Buddhism, and Tamils, they are the second majority. They follow Hinduism, and Muslims are the third majority. They follow, of course, Islam. Yep. Talking about Muslims, they can speak Tamil and Sinhala. Those who are near to the capital, they can speak Tamil and Sinhala. When we go to the eastern part of the country or northeastern part of the country, they cannot speak much of Sinhala. Their communication language is mainly based on Tamil. Yes. Yeah.
But what is the official language though for Sri Lankan?
For Sri Lanka, we have two official language. One is Sinhala and Tamil, and we use English as our administrative language. We use it if you take an application form. If you are in a government office and take an application form, you can find 3 languages. Yes, and of course we have 2 national anthems in Sinhala and Tamil.
Interesting.
Yes. So we sing it simultaneously. I mean, we sing it one after the other on our Independence Day, which falls on 4th of February. So as India and Malaysia, we also were under occupation of Portuguese, Dutch, and British. British was the last. We were colony under British, and after that our country got independence on 1948. Talking about the indigenous people of Sri Lanka, there were some indigenous people like Aborigines. We say Aborigines like hunters and scavengers. Then there was a prince called Vijaya. He did a mistake, and his father got angry and banished Vijaya with his 400 friends. I think 400 friends on a ship. On the way they got caught to a cyclone or some storm, so they landed accidentally in Sri Lanka. After that, Vijaya married a woman called Kuweni, and the Sinhala dynasty started after that. Yeah, of course we know that the Arab traders were famous all over the world, so they never missed Sri Lanka too. So they were trading in Sri Lanka they were selling and trading spices and some other valuable products. They were taking them to Middle East and all. After the emergence of Islam, in couple of decades, Islam started to enter Sri Lanka by one of the traders, and I have heard that one of the Sahabas also had visited Sri Lanka. I do not remember. So basically Arabs were there since the beginning. Arab traders, they became Muslim and they married Sinhalese women in Sri Lanka, and they started to spread Islam. When Portuguese entered the country, they were there. After that, Indian Muslims came, and at the end, Malays came. Malays from Indonesia and Malaysia. That is the simple history, I think. So yeah. We also had our own letter and alphabet, called it Urvi or Arvi. Used to write Tamil in Arabic font. I think Tamil also was considered as one of the most influential language at that time. It was considered as one of the commercial language, like we use English as commercial language, and Arabic was used as main language, like an international language. We started to speak Tamil from the beginning. Of course, as we were traders at the beginning, we started to speak Tamil, and later on, after the influence of Islam, we have adopted Arabic fonts and things like that. For example, talking about this Urvi, we had written many letters for the Khalifa, and we had close connection with the Khilafah of Usmania at that time. Sri Lanka was basically a strategically important point in terms of politics and economy and everything at the time. Of course, even right now, all the politics and even the international politics is evolved around Sri Lanka because of the strategically important element of Sri Lanka. It is that in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Anyone who captures or has control over Sri Lanka has control over the Indian Ocean. So that's the main point.
Significance of Sri Lanka.
Yes, so you can see when you study the Sri Lankan politics, you can see India has its hands, and China, and on the other hand, America yeah, so
So we are done with the part 1 for Sri Lanka, Muslims in Sri Lanka. So we're going to end the part 1 and we're going to go for the second part after this.